glory to the bride, those that are on the narrow path, the narrow way. Thank you for this ministry, Father, that I can have purpose when I walk this rock. And this gives life purpose, you know. I want to do your will. That's why I do what I do, because you make me do it, Father. So thank you for this ministry. Again, that I have a purpose on this rock. You pretty much stripped me back of everything else in my life and don't really have a social life, you know. I don't have friends or family. I just have you and have this ministry. So I am thankful for those who frequent here and spend their time, because time is way more important. You can make more money, but you can't make time. So hopefully it's time well spent. I know for me it is. Never seems like a moment in here has ever been vain. It's always serves purpose. And I thank Father for the ministry that I can share this with the body here. It's not a channel trying to explode in numbers. It's a teeny tiny flock, and so don't want anybody here that's a bad apple, because one bad apple can upset the whole apple cart like leaven. It leavens the whole lump. So become a product of your environment. And I'm thankful that we can share the narrow way here. It's not being shared enough, but that's not for you to decide. You do you and stay in the narrow way, and that's what leads to the straight gate. So most go to hell because they're on the broad way, and that leads to the wide gate, and he's got the keys to that gate. So 2 gates, the straight gate and the wide gate. So the only way to the to the straight gate is through the Hamashiach. So I am just overwhelmed with the abundance that he has provided for myself. And then my struggles are that I can't share. So that's why I come in here and do what I do, because he makes me. He said, have your loins girded in my service, Maranatha, until I return. So it's a beautiful thing. It's been a long time in the making. 10 years ago, long before that, I had set goals to build a property where I could build a community of people that were trying to be independent of the system and get their costs to near nothing. And so I'm actually adding back costs to the ministry, but that's okay. I do think this will improve, obviously, the quality. I'll try to get a little bit better internet, or because I don't have internet. So I have a phone, a 4G phone, but again, thank you, Father. It's about not what you see. Idolatry and imagery were the 2 things you warned about, remember? You divorced your bride for idolatry, and you don't want us, that's things we see in the dirt, and serving the dirt and not serving Father. So not serving the Word. Father's the Word. So again, all glory to the Most High, the one who is the creator of all things evil. Father creates evil and calamity and chaos. So he creates these men to do, men and women, because we're equally yoked under this covenant. Evil men to do things to test his bride. So it's a test of will you be patient with Father, patient with this disgusting, filthy world that we live in, and it's the playground of the adversary. So you're born unto this. Remember, this isn't heaven, the earth isn't below your feet, but this realm that you walk was given unto the adversary to test the bride. So it's a testing, kind of like you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You're proving it whether you'll have a mediator that'll stand before a judge where one sin is death. So that's the Word, and the Word became flesh, and he said, if you had a jot death, tittle death, thought death too. So nothing's changed. It's just the same. So look at this. We're already getting messages for review. The first people who are reviewing messages must be some slime ball coming in here already, right? Yeah, there you go. Enjoy your gnashing the teeth. So I won't condemn you. The word does it itself. So thank you, Father, for making most people evil. Most people go to hell because they enter through the wide gate. So thank you, Father, for this ministry that I can share the true gospel, not the other gospel that Paul spoke of. Remember, Saul became Paul. So thank you, Father, for the word. A little chilly out here at the ministry today. They get about 38, something like that. It was supposed to be above 40, but didn't. So out there and did got some farm, got the ladies fed the livestock and watered the garden and did some other things. I thought I'd come in here because I have the engineer come in from the electric company to discuss on which power pole we're going to string the power out here. So had a hearing with the county, and now we're moving forward to put power. So hopefully again, future tents will get better quality internet, but it's about what you hear. As long as you can hear me, if you say anything about anything in your vision, you're a failure to this testament. So and he doesn't want you to imagery. He warned of images. So what you see, you're serving your eyes. So don't talk about things you see in here, otherwise you're going to be kicked out of here. So I won't condemn you. Nobody's ever been permanently banned with a ban hammer, but we'll put you in timeout. It's an adult stream. 7 is the number of maturity, to be sevened. So to be completed. So it's a process. So thank you, Father, for this word and this ministry that I can share. And those that come in here, they get the wrench and they can toss people out of here too. And I don't have to mess with them. And then I just get the emails on, why'd you throw me out of your channel? You're whatever. Go away from me. You're slime. You're swine. You're low energy. We're not to cast our pearls, our seeds before low energy swine. So that's what it says. That's the gospel. But Father's an all-loving Father, but he doesn't love everybody. Most people are evil or nice, and that word means to be stupid. So most people are nice and stupid, and I don't hang out with people like that. Remember, they hung up from a tree, not a cross. So imagery, you were warned about imagery. What your eyeballs see, don't serve your eyes, serve the word. You know what I mean? Probably define and go back and take a little more time in your life instead of, I'm not telling you what to do. Father said, if I didn't call out to the hearts, which is all of us, every one of us since the beginning of times, continuously filled with wickedness. We don't think with our hearts. We use our head. So, you know what I mean? This is not something I've done it. The heart is continually, again, filled with wickedness has got me in a lot of trouble in my past, Don't use your head. The body's a temple, and you got 2 of them right there. So use it. So thank you, Father, for the word, Hokodesh, Ruach. So all glory, nobody's less, nobody be lesses, and get off your knees. This ain't Catholicism. Catholics are Satanists, the adversary, the Roman, remember Catholics, the cross, the Red Cross, they'd slaughter you. Who slaughtered more people than government? Religion. So religion is vain and responsible for mass murder, death. Like Paul, he was a mass murderer, remember? He killed, remember Saul, for the church, that he was a Pharisee. Most people are Pharisees, heresies. They're the opposite adversary and opposition on the other side. You can't even add a jot or you'll go to hell. That's what he says. But hell's not below your feet. Neither is earth. Is the ruled, is what the earth is. So when he created the heavens, that's not above your head. The firmament is above your head. That's a clock, and you can't go to the clock. So that's what the whole world does. They do their calendar worship with their decima, 10 December. No, they call December the 12th month because they're perverted. So it's not 2026. We live in a world full of perverts. So Most people are perverted. So if you put anything in here perverted, to be thrown out of here. I don't hang out with perverts or people who add or take away from Father is the word to his word. He said you'll go to hell is not below your feet. Either is earth and heaven isn't above your head. He said to meet him in the sky, and that's not above your head. The skies will roll back like a scroll. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Remember the laws are written on scrolls, the law. So there you go. We got another one of these R2D2, LG, XY, 3Z, 2D2, CPO. Get away from me. So there's no such thing as Jews. Gold, you speak like a dragon. There's no J in the Old or New Testament. So there's no such thing as Jew. You speak like a dragon. Remember? Puff. I don't know what is hot hole you're blowing out of air hole. Commander in Queef. Get away from me, Jezebel. There's no J, remember? If you're going to use J translations, he said don't do that. Don't translate. Don't even add a jot. That's a period. What are you on your moon? Lunatic. It's about to steal the show. Remember he said in 3:11, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. If you want to see something, you worry about what you see. Right? So it's not for me to try to turn goats, remember? MAGA, high priest of the Satan church. Peace and safety. He said, I didn't come to bring peace. MAGA, high priest of the Satan church. Those who say peace and safety, sudden destruction, because they're in a box. So, remember. Female liners. So, can't turn goats into sheep, remember? It's not possible. It was already chosen from the foundation of the world. So, most people are evil. Most people go to hell. Most people can't give me the definition of hell. So, I don't hang out with people. Remember, they hung them from a tree, not on a cross. It tells you to carry your cross. He never carried a cross. He didn't hang from a cross. So, yeah. What are you doing with all your stupid memes? You're out of here. You're an idiot. For me, you don't know what you're talking about, let alone you're worried about imagery. So, can't even before you see that one. How about that one? You didn't use that one. That's where I draw the line, remember? Ham, Shem, and Japheth, the law. So Torah is all spoken into existence, the word. So don't be slime in here. I don't cast my pearls in the mud, seeds. So did you die? Somebody died? Somebody died at Greg's house. Why? What happened? Are you celebrating? Remember, we're not supposed to mourn. We're supposed to celebrate death. And actually, under this covenant, we're not supposed to celebrate anything. He fulfilled all the fees, fines, celebration, rituals, customs, traditions. Remember Jeremiah, if you're going to use the letter J again, that didn't exist in the Old or New Testament, so there's no such thing as Jesus. So, top of the day to you. So, you know, people die, and then, well, you wake and mourn, and so the light would come up at the horizo. They call that the horizo, not the light. He said, I am the horizo, not the light. He didn't say I'm the light. He said, I'm the separator. Look that word up, horizo. Predestination, prohorizo, predetermined, separated from the flesh, right? And he pulls us to his light, from sin to pure. He is pure. He doesn't have darkness. Hokadesh, Ruach. So, L.A., where it's sunny all year, first city to bust the feel of gear. Oh, I'd be a little tone low. Doing it after dark. Doing it at the park. Oh, yeah, Loki's hard. I'm like steel, harder than a mother. Oh, never mind. All right, thanks for coming in, brothers and sisters. Remember, we're in the age of clay. The iron will not cleave with the watery clay, and I don't sup or cleave with vipers because they'll rub off on you like Sir Mix-a-Lot. You know, what do we get for $10? Remember? Baby's got back. Remember? Anything? You can be like, ask me. So don't go there. You all fall short of the word, but don't sup with vipers. So don't cast your pearls in the mud. Most people are swine. Most people are nice. That word means to be stupid. So most people are nice and stupid. They come in here and they leave with stupid prizes, because when you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. So it's a little cold here today. I'm up in the high desert, not in the, I used to board in the desert. I'm Scorpizzo, you know. Watch it. So A teacher is the word prophet. A false prophet is the word scorpizo. Careful. So he said, be sure no man, remember, deceive the adversary, the deceiver, liar, distributor fortunes and lies, daemonion. Demon is the word daemonion. That's a compliment in record past. That was like OG, or whatever. Too short. Never mind. I had to go there. Oakland, Oaktown, whatever. Somebody talked about Smell A. He used to drive into the fogs, but now I'm up here in the high desert. That was the Mojave. Now I'm in the outback in the high desert, hired in a B-2 bomber over Iran on Operation Midnight Hammer, or hired in a hippie in a helicopter. Okay, you're out of here because you talk what you see. Can you see that before you go? Goodbye. You talk about anything you see, you're out of here. You already failed. Idolatry and imagery. Those are the two things he warned of. X, stand on the X, go away from me. Bishop, no, I'm in the Oregon as outback up north. So I can't, too many people down there. I can't live around that many people anymore. I need to raise my own food and have lots of land. I can spread out and build and, be more. So, but that's okay. Everybody's feet are supposed to 10 toes where they're supposed to be, you know what I mean? So I just got a thing for the desert. I love this Oregon high back. I came from the Mojave, came up here when I was a kid, and man, I fell in love with it. So Utah's pretty awesome. In every place, go where your 10 toes are supposed to be. Don't let anybody tell you, go, that just gave, oh yeah, go where your 10 toes are supposed to be. That's what we're doing. We're on a homestead, Zabora. So yeah, Mojave is a good place to, grow up riding motorcycles, be able to go to the beach and ride motorcycles in the same day. We go down to Venice or Santa Monica or, anywhere down along the beach, and then be out in the Edwards Air Force Base, Mojave, right? Edward Dry Lake Bed, all over there, California City, Red Rock Canyon. My dad loved Red Rock Canyon a lot. He loved to go out there, take us and ride motorcycles. And earlier in the day, we're out there on the beach surfing and skimboarding and boogie boarding and, bodyboarding, doing all that, eating, hot dog on a stick and these burritos, this big, so I wouldn't create, from Cherokee Nation. Cherokee. Okay. Deborah, I want to give you something. You're not a Native American, okay? Don't say that, please. That's blasphemy. I'm going to give you something about, because I don't do race. There's no race. I don't like white niggers, black niggers, brown niggers, red niggers, or yellow niggers. Or blue niggers, white niggers that hold their breath, or maybe they're the orange nigger and queef. Because I don't do races. I was born in the concrete jungle, so I don't see color. You're not Native American. You're blasphemous. That's blasphemous. You wandered from the ice bridge. You don't think about the Dalton, the minimum, the Ort, the Spore, all these strata data levels. Your nation was heathens and pagans. You worship pole gods. I know I have a totem out in front of my house. So that's the reason why Father allowed them to slaughter all these pagans that were here. They were pagans. Some converted. Christians are pagans too, but because that's the Egyptian, gods with heads of beast and man, and that's the totem gods. They were pagans. You're not Native, okay? No, you didn't. That doesn't make you wandered from the south, okay? The Mayans. You're going to leave. You're not a Native American, okay? You're an idiot, is what you are. You have no idea what you're talking about, and I won't have people in here who blaspheming the true agape. All natives are pagans. They go after pagan gods unless they have converted. Father has pulled them from their pagan. Most people are pagans. Christians are pagans. Catholics are Satanists, and they follow the Pope Papa. So that's all Satanism. You're not native. You're not indigenous. You were here, but you wandered from the north and south to this nation that's been here. So stop claiming to be native. That's such hogwash. There were here. I do enter and overstand. Columbus didn't even come to North the Americas, okay? Stop talking about things that are, I'm undoing this. And if you don't want to hear me, then leave. Father allowed every one of these people to be slaughtered because they were pagans by Puritans, not pilgrims, because they wouldn't go to the Mass, worship pagan gods. Mass A, right here. And you would know this if you're a native. That wouldn't offend you if you're a native. You would know that symbol's been around long before America. So don't be stupid in here, because I'm clearing this crap up. I'm tired of this people claiming to be native. So we're not even supposed to set up shop. Most natives didn't. They moved and they wandered around. So get away from me with your lies. I'm tired of this crap. They were slaughtered and they came here fleeing the orgy called Christmas. It's an orgy. It was outlawed, okay? That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's all I just want to clear the record. Remember in Jamestown, many of them, we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for the natives, brothers, sisters, at least the Puritans, not pilgrims that came over here. Remember 1492, remember Columbus, the Mayflower Nation, the blessed, the one that it's written in scripture about this exact country. Father created this. There's no guessing on what's going on here, but stop claiming to be native. There were people here before you. The Chinese were here in the 14th century. Shut your freaking mouth. You were heathens, you were pagans, and Father allowed you to be slaughtered because you were worshiping pagan pole gods. Most of your lives were taken because Father didn't want pagans here on this land. And he brought over people that were fleeing the Mass A, which is the eating of human flesh. So I already was out in the garden. I was in the garden today. So yes, I have an outdoor garden that I built. I'd like to do a much bigger garden. But guys, I think the natives were much better stewards of the land than we are. We're ruining this place. We've ruined this place. They wandered. They were hunter-gatherers, okay? But they weren't native. And most of them were Satanists and pagans. And anybody who practices this totem and pole gods and three gods and one God, that's Baphomet. Tree gods, that's Alga. That's the same thing. It's just you're worshiping it with a different label. So the only way to the Father is through the Hamashiach. And he doesn't have breast and a horse body. He's not a unicorn. He's not, you know what I'm saying? So just please listen to me. Hear me out. I have no issues with anybody. I grew up there's no such thing as Jew. So there's no Jews. So this is ignorance, brothers, sisters. There was no J. Judea, out of Judea, it was a Y, and there's no vowels in Hebrew. So there's no J. There's no Jews. That's such a stupid word. Jacob, who he so loved, you want to use your stupid letter J. Hooked on phonics work for me. You ever get fish hooked? Yeah, okay. Get it? So there's no J, so there's no Jesus, so there's no Jews. Shut up. It was Jacob. There is no Israel as a country. Israel was a man, not a country. So you're already showing me that your ignorance is bliss for you, okay? Yeah, it does. It don't feel good. It'll rip your lip if you're not careful. So don't pull on somebody too hard. Okay. All right. Enough of this, brothers and sisters, please. Thank you, Father, for this ministry. I don't sup with people who are an ass. An ass is somebody who's stubborn and cannot be mothered, corrected. Goats, MAGA, high priest of the Satan church. It's right in front of your face. But you don't want to listen, and that's fine. I won't try to change you. Don't even be concerned. Father is the one who rebukes. That means I'm a prior veteran. About face! That means I want to see your elbows and your two cheeks to the same hole, wings of the same dragon. Yeah, the back of your elbows and your move out and draw fire, okay? So that's Father rebukes. Father rebukes. You can't, I rebuke you! And it doesn't say name. Doesn't ever say name. Don't use the word name. Don't use the word name. It says Shem. Jesus, there's no J. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That there is no Jesus. There is no Lucifer. There is no free will. There is no luck. Rapture was never written. Lord or Christ, or I have the scriptures right next to me, and it never says any of those one time. But you've added a translation, and he told you do not do that. So, okay? Don't be an idiot. I won't have you in here. You have to go somewhere because you can't be corrected, and you're an ass. Or a goat. He said, don't add a jot, and now you've added a whole ball like planet, and you're spinning. Planet means wander, so you can wander out of here. We don't live on a planet. Earth's not below your feet. Hell's not below your feet. No, nobody hung from crosses. Get out of your box. You unfold a box, and you get a what? They nailed him to a yoke. And we're supposed to be equally yoked. He doesn't want us to unequally yoke. That's why he split the 10 tribes, powers, horns, gave their authority to the beast. You're just ignorant, and that's okay because you don't know what you're talking about. And I won't hold anybody who's an idiot against them. Remember, an idiotos is the same word as ignoramus. It means you've never seen it or heard it in your life. So we won't get you up against the wall, about face, and, you know, do a pat down on you. Nope, this is a non-hands-on channel. Hokadesh is spirit. It's all spiritual. Wrestle not against flesh. So just stay in the word, brothers and sisters. You're not turning goats into sheep. Predestination, prohorizo, it's in Paul's writings. I also did foreknow the ones that I did predestined to conform to the image of the Messiah, that do what he did. They do what he did. He stood against opposition and perversion of his father's law. Those are the sins of the world, not your klepto hands, or you can't keep your legs closed because you think the word is the day is legs and you want to spread the word instead of spreading the light. So stay in the word, brothers and sisters. Come out of her, my people. Do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. One bad apple upsets the whole apple cart. Like leaven, it leavens the whole lump. So I define every word that comes out of my face. Pie hole 2487. You think that's you making an ass of you, not me. Assume. No, you're not. Do you define any word that comes out of your face, pie hole? How about you start defining words before you start spitting words like a snake? You know, 2 tubes of snake oil trying to sell somebody on your crap. Define the word hell for me, or get the hell out of here. I'm listening. Everybody else, look at this person's going to come in and make an assumption. And then Jaw's going to ride his coattail right on his taint. It smells like his, never an ass is somebody can't learn. So give me the definition of hell or get the hell out of here. It's in Revelation 9:11. They have a king. Remember, you can't serve 2 masters. I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. Yeah, he's got the keys to knowledge. That's what hell is, no knowledge. So anyways, get out of here. You don't even know the definition of it. Hell's not below your feet. You would have been able to put that much quicker. The A negates in the Greek. Remember, cancel, so you're canceled. See you later. Get out of here. Kick rocks. I don't sup with vipers. This is not a channel that's trying to get a YouTube button. It's a family. It's a ministry. It's a family affair. We will mother you in here every single time. Agape, thy neighbor like thy enemy, like thyself. You need to make sure you don't slip, right? Fall off the wagon. Remember? Supposed to put it back on the cart. Nope. Glean in all this. You're not going to come in here and glean from this ministry. No thanks. Goodbye. So kick rocks. So Jaw says you think you know. Okay, Jaw ain't right, or sucking the behind coattail. So you're not riding this coattail. Remember, don't sup with vipers. Don't cast your pearls before swine. Do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. So yeah, kick rocks till it turns into sand. Remember, don't build your house on sinking sand. Let's go back to the future. Kick rocks. You want to do it again? It's like a cycle. And don't build your house. Remember, he is the rock cornerstone, not third rock from the sun in the third dimension spinning on a ball. Get away from me. Corkscrewing. Here's that Hebrew word is froer, and it means to pervert. You're perverted through time and space. You're telling me you're going to the clock. You're going to the firmament. Look at this. Why are you so angry? You think you found Jesus. You wouldn't have so much disdain on your tongue. Look, I'm not going to moderate you. There's no such thing as Jesus. This is a Satanist, brothers, sisters. Look, unhide that person so I want them to see. Here's the scriptures. Here's the rejected text. So here's the 88 scriptures. They rejected 22 of them because they weren't aligned with the definition. If you don't have this version of the scriptures, don't talk in here. If you don't know what this word is, halakha or haggadah, shut up. Use your Fifth Amendment right if you're American and Mirandize yourself and remain silent. If you want to learn, okay? There's no J's in the Old or New Testament, so there is no Jesus. There's a difference between passion and anger. Learn the difference, okay? I got hit in the face with a grenade. You'll have to apologize. My right eye, I've just had an MRI just the other day for obviously a concussion, but you don't care. You don't want to listen. You got TikTok brain. Moderate America, whatever that person's name is. I don't care. So there is no Jesus, okay? There is no J's. There is no J's. So there is no Jews. If you use that translation, he told us not to do that. Kick rocks. You don't know what cursing is. They got you spelling curses in cursive. They're absolute fines. Go find yourself somewhere else. Kick rocks. Get them out of here. Nathan, moderate anybody that's not in the narrow way, please. So, look, there's no J's in here. That's a translation. Okay? Translation means you've changed it and you made your own version. It's the very last things it says in the book of Revelation. I am Pastor Revelation. Hey, shut up. Get out of here. Absorb. God damn it does not mean taking the Lord's name in vain. You're an idiot. You know what taking the Lord's name in vain is? It's calling him Jesus. God is a title. Remember, little g God, deities, that's the word demon, and that was a compliment in history. You don't know what you're talking about, so don't speak up in here. You'll be moderated. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Father, for today. We have the power company coming out here. If you want to contribute to this ministry, there are multiple ways to do it. Most importantly, you do not have to contribute monetarily. Ever. A single dime to be a part of this ministry, because you can go make more money. But you can't make time, so you will have to spend your time in here wisely. Serpent and gentle as a dove. We go by this new covenant of let vengeance be mine. You have to endure to the end if you want to be saved. So nobody's going to get saved in here. You can't be saved. You can blot your name out of the book of life. Once saved, always saved. That's a bunch of hogwash. Okay? So I don't know where you put your treasure. I don't know where you put your, cast your seeds or your, well, that's not up to me. If you'd like to contribute, you can put good comments in here. That's it. That's all you have to do to be a part of this ministry, period. If you'd like to contribute, you can hit the thumbs up button. I haven't done this. Channel's been up for years, but we're supposed to be sharing the light. Don't hide that light in the bush. He said, don't boast because you know, but woe if you don't. Remember, I already told you. He said, I am the separator of the light and the dark. Prohorizo, Romans 8:29. So if you'd like to contribute to the ministry, put good comments in here. Thank you. Get this swine out of here. This is a ministry, not some YouTube channel trying to get a YouTube button, trying to blow up to, I don't want your subscription. I don't want you to be here. If you don't like what you hear, then go find another channel. There's hundreds. There's other platforms. I've already been kicked off TikTok, okay? Okay, but you're not even supposed to be studying local. You have no business being in the Ethiopian text. You have no business being in the Ethiopian text. Go back to the canonized interlinear Textus Receptus, stay out of the rejected texts, and start from there. Build your house on the rock, on the gospel, and then work from there. Step by step, building steps to climb yourself out of the huge hole you've obviously got yourself into because you're reading scriptures that are not aligned with the definition. That's why they canonized them. That's why that scripture, this is why I hold these up and tell you there is no other text that's accepted. There's only one version that's accepted, just one. So this is 53 of the old and 13 of the new. There were 22 that were rejected, okay, because they weren't aligned with the definition. Okay. I don't like TikTok either. They kicked me out there. They don't want no gospel over there. So that's all I was doing. I get kicked off for gospel. I share gospel and it's hate speech. I can't say retarded on that's like, it's not a derogatory term. That's a restrainer, like to be screwed down like a carburetor, like every woman I've ever gotten on her back, she's been screwed, right? No, just kidding. That's a joke. But no, remember an orifice opening to hold, you can't fully comprehend because you're retarded, you're restrained like a carburetor. I've been kicked off trying to explain that a carburetor is either advanced or retarded. So that's hate speech because I'm explaining the restrainer. People have a deaf ear. Father doesn't want most people to hear the gospel, so that's why most people come in here and get the, what I'm saying? They get the ban because no, they don't get permanently banned. We've never condemned anybody. That's not for us to do. So you're not Native American. Here we go. David, you're not Native American. You're an idiot. So get away from me. You're not a Native American. There is no, I already explained that. Go back in the stream. Don't say a damn thing in here. Yeah, I'm putting the stop on you like a dam, like a beaver. Yeah, nice beaver. I just had it stuffed. I don't want to hear you crap. You ain't filling nobody full of your crap. You're not native. The Mayans, the Chinese were here in the 14th century. Stop claiming to be native. And the reason why your David tribe was slaughtered, not the house of David, is because you were pagans. So stop it. Father allowed the genocide of all these pagans who went after pole gods, totem gods, just like Christians. Egypt, gods of eagle heads and beast man and pagan totem gods. I already explained it. So go back in the thing. You're not native. Stop it. You're lying to yourself. The ice bridge, the Maunder minimum, the Dalton minimum, the Wolf minimum, the spore. I could fart and smell it in Russia. Shut up. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? You're claiming something. You have to stop claiming something that you're not. You're not native. You weren't native to this land. You wandered here from the north and south. We have done this for millions of years. This rock is not 6,000 years old. If you're in that camp, please leave. This ain't my first rodeo, and I don't have a flash in a pan memory of any of my eternal past. But I know this. Father doesn't want us to go after gods in the sky, god beasts with beast heads, and that is paganism. It doesn't matter which way you slice it. It's still paganism, okay? And Father doesn't want us to add since the beginning of time to his word, and that's what we always do. That's why he fulfilled all the covenants of fee, fine, celebration, ritual, and flesh, so we do not do these things, because we'll end up doing these same things, setting up idols and statues and buildings and towers and try to rise to the stars, famous like Hollywood stars, and they'll orchestrate this right in front of your face, and you'll keep letting them do it. So you're not a Native American. Okay, none of us are. We're all part of this rock. Borders are the stupidest thing in the world. A bird lands on the wall of Americant or America, whatever you camp you're in, okay, and Mexico and America. You think it cares? What does it do? It just flies away. Stop it. Get away from me. That's what you can do. Wings of two cheeks of the same hole. Yeah, I want to see up, out, face, elbows like chicken wings. Yeah. And move out and draw fire. Yeah, wings of an angel, remember? Wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. What's with the wings in here? Angels don't have wings. Don't use the word angel either. You don't know what an angel is. These people are lost. I live in such, well, they do all these deities, pagan gods, tree gods, gods in the sky, it's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at Sky comes in here right at the time. Remember, he says to meet him in the sky, and he's not talking about over your head. Think about the idiocracy of this world that you live in right now. If you walk down the street and you ask people where heaven is at, they're going to tell you it's right. Where do dead people go? Dead. Nobody's been judged. There's not been a final Trump. Remember, that's not some dude on Truth Social. Truth is word aletheia, and there's no truth coming out of that man's face. Everything he says, pretty much, about 95% of it is a lie. And he does that on purpose. That's why he decorates his house with Jesus Christ, Satan, the sun god, Mithra at the time of Rome is what they called it. So remember, wings of an angel, you can roam on out of here. Remember, the beast with iron teeth, the lion, the leopard, the bear, the beast with iron teeth. We're over there messing with the leopard, remember? Iran. Oh, you run, you can get out of here, remember? If you don't want to have legs, remember? Wings. What kind of shoes you got in here? Take your 2 feet, big feet, and get out of here too, okay, with your wings. Angels don't come from the sky. There's no fallen, doesn't mean from the sky. Heaven's not above your head. Earth's not below your feet. You're ruled by your alien tongue. Alien, there's no such thing as speaking in tongues. There's no such thing as aliens. Alien is the word meaning foreign. So you can planet, which means you can wander out of here. Planet. You can tell somebody, planet. What does that mean? That means wander. Remember? Up, out, face. I only see elbows and assholes. Remember, an ass is somebody who can't learn. Get away from me. I don't do it. So you don't like it, too bad. Don't shoot the messenger. That's an angel. Angel. You ever seen an angel? You're looking at one. Oh my God, is the title. Messenger. So don't use the word angel. Remember, not mature enough. Adult, you have to be 7 to be a part of this ministry, or at least be in the process of being mature. It's not a childish. We don't sup with vipers. We don't put our hands on children. We have a ruling class that obviously does, but nobody cares about that in America. The Lego memes, no, right? Lego my ego. Remember, they're a lunar god, lunatics. So Iran, there they go, out the door again. They must have flew away, right? Wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. So angel equals messenger. So if you've never seen an angel, you're looking at one. You're supposed to message. You're supposed to share the message. So Native American is defined as an indigenous people. You're not indigenous. Europeans do that in the definition of Native American. Look it up. Nope, you're an idiot. Okay, David is an ass. Get the hell out of here, David. You're an idiot. You're not indigenous. I just said the Chinese were here in the 14th century. They were here long before there's been. You're an idiot. Get out of here, David. You're an ass, and you are a pagan. I guarantee you, because you're probably a Christian. So native, indigenous. I told them again, brothers, sisters. Remember, Russia's so close you can fart and smell it. And we've had just recently. People think Ice Age. They think of like Disney. Like the little stupid little acorn, little whatever that chick-mutt looking thing. I don't know what it was. I didn't watch it, but it's just seen it on, the imagery of it chasing. So we were in a mini ice age in the 1800s. People think ice age. I think thousands of years ago we were in an ice age in the 1700s. These people are lost. These people came over this ice bridge many times. Wandered. The Mayans wandered from the south, the tribe of Gad. But you can get on out of here, whatever. Get lost is what you can do. So Gat, no, that's grace and truth. Gad, that was, remember, Ham, Shem, well, Japheth, all these tribes, right? Well, no, that was Noah, right? Yeah, you're going to sink your ship in here. So, no, the Red Indians are native. See, once again, they're not native. You guys aren't getting it, so get out of here. I'm not supping with any of you that are not in the neuro way. You guys don't get it. We're all one race, the human race. Remember, I don't like white niggers, red niggers, black niggers, brown niggers, or yellow niggers, blue niggers, or orange nigger in chief. Get away from me. You're a racist. You have no humanity. You're claiming something that you're not. This is all the rock. We're not supposed to claim land. Stop it. Get away from me. That's what you're doing. So kick rocks. I don't like your attitude. So you're not welcome and not part of this ministry. Remember, I don't see color. I was born in the concrete jungle. I joined the military at 17. You're telling me when somebody's trying to split my wig, pop my grape, that I care with this man who has my 6 about how the shape of his eyes or how much melanin he has in his skin? Do I look white? Get out of here. So there's one race, the human race. If you can't act with humanity, man and woman, that's it. Please leave. I don't have to prove shit, idiot. Here, look, just to prove, and then get this dumb idiot out of here. Moderate. I won't give you my address, but there you go, dumb fuck. People are so lost. What does that say? Right there. Veteran. There's my ugly mug right there, you dumb idiot. So I hate that I served in this B system, that we go slaughter those Iranian children. So David, are you a U.S. citizen? Did you fill out a W-2 tax dollar? Because now you're going to start answering some questions. You're so proud to be a Native American, okay? Well, there you go. You're not native, remember? You're not indigenous. So answer my fucking question right now, because I'm tired of these people doing this stupidity in here. I'm tired of this nation that goes slaughters every single nation with military bases and 1,000+, okay? And you're just fine with being an American in your nation. And this nation is disgusting, filthy swine that I served. So did you fill out a W-2 tax dollar? Did you fill out taxes last year, David? Do you have a job? And if you can't answer my questions, I will moderate you. %16 of American population is Native American. Okay, you're out of here. Goodbye. Claiming something you're not. Israel National Security Minister Werner says spitting on Christians is the old custom, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, the goy. So actually, somebody put anything in here, and Israel was a man, and Israel over there in the desert is, there's no Jesus, so get away from me. Oh, we got a bunch of slime balls in here right now, huh? All right, hold on. Where's that? Where are we at here? We're in a... David, did you ever tell us anything? Dave, you gonna put your gross or net in here, or did you just run off? Did you go outside? Did somebody make you go outside? Because you're acting like a child. Yeah, all different hues. Oh, Carrie's got it figured out. Carrie doesn't sound like a racist to me. So, okay, hey, Zabora, I'm going to give you the wrench because you're producing fruit. Moderate anybody that's not in the narrow way. Zabora, moderate that's anybody not in the narrow way. 2 times is what the scripture tells us, okay? You give a man fish, and we're equally yoked under this covenant, and then you give them a fishing pole. And if they don't want to produce work, those who don't work, don't eat, they can't come in this ministry, and get them out of here. Kick rocks, cast them out of here. I didn't give you the ability to permanently ban anybody from this channel, since this channel has been up for 4 years plus. You know, nobody's ever been banned from the channel, but you can put them in timeout because children are meant to be. I'm old school. I went to school 5 years and got my degree, and I own my boat. Once again, David, you're a fucking idiot, because I asked you a question and you couldn't even put your name at the top of the paper. I asked you about your gross and you go off about your boats and hoes. Get the hell out of here. Make David the first person that you moderate. Make David the first person that you moderate. Okay, Zabora? Because they've asked, right? Been asked to put their W-2 tax dollar, but they just want to share that they got a big ass job. You pay your taxes, okay? Okay, so you answer the question. So, don't moderate them yet. Do you think that your tax dollars are responsible for killing those 120 Iranian children? Do you think when you die and you face Father, because the Messiah will be there and Father and nobody else, do you think that those blood of those 120 Iranian, a country that's never attacked us, will be on your hands at judgment? Not to include the Ukrainian, for the 4.5 years you slaughtered a whole Ukrainian generation with your. Do you think, David, Mr. High and Mighty, got a big old job, Native American? False. I asked you to answer a question, you couldn't do this, so you started bragging. So you walked right into this, David. So tell me now, are you responsible for the deaths of those Iranian children? 120 school children. And all the school teachers were women, all females, destroyed. Do you think at judgments that you will be held liable? I don't know, Loco, hold on, just produce some more food. I'll give you the wrench here in a minute if you can, because you've been here. I mean, you say some things in opposition, but that's fine. I don't. You know what I'm saying? You can be corrected. And we don't have to agree on everything other than what I define out of these scriptures, because I'm not going to budge on that. He said, guard my commandments if you love me. So I'm not going to come off of that. So, okay, thank you, Typical, for using just having some humanity. David doesn't even want to talk about this. David came in and I told him he's not a Native American, and now he's bragging that he's got a degree and he's got boats and hoes, but he never could even answer a simple question. So I doubt that he has a degree. Now, I showed him that I had veteran on my license, which I'm not proud of because pride is a sin. But when somebody asks you to put your name on the top of the paper, you would write that down first. I have been I have a 3.8, my GPA in college, okay? And I didn't do that because I went to college before I ever joined the military, went to college in the military, went to college after I got out of the military. Just because you're smart, there's a difference between being street smart and book smart. Apparently, David can't even write his name at the top of the paper. So they get people to teach how to be good goyim, good slaves, debt slaves. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I don't care what you think, Tam. That's fine. Whatever. You can say whatever you want. You're proud of the uniform. Are you okay with how many Iranian children, right, lost their life that day? How about Iraqi? I served remember in the 90s, Desert Storm, Desert Shield. How many Iraqi children lost their lives? Iraqi, not in battle dress uniform, men, women, right? Or men, no. How many women lost their life? How many lost their life? Iraqi. Do you know anything where your taxes are going? Once again, this is David's message. So David, you right now did not answer my question. You are proving the scriptures to be correct, which the Messiah would call you brutish. It's kind of ironic because he was from the house of David. Remember, nothing good could come of Nazareth, but I won't share with you, okay? Because you're an idiot. I asked a question of you now twice, and you couldn't answer it. So you could just kick rocks, okay? You'll get one more time. I'll show you what an ass is, brothers and sisters. You just can't change anybody. They just will not be able to be mothered. They're like a goat or an ass, stubborn. They can't be moved. They don't want it. So, are you at judgments, David, responsible? Will Father find you liable for those 120 and 150, all women, but the 120 children? Will that blood of those children be on your hand because you hold a W-2 tax job in this country? I pay my damn taxes. Federal taxes. So are you responsible at your death at the final trump? We're all going to be there, David. Yeah, from the house of David. He sprang out of Judea. Remember? Not Nazareth, the Star of David. And you have a name and you probably don't even understand, or overstand scripturally. The least, remember, of his brothers. You're not my brother. I can tell you that. So answer the question and prove to the word to be correct that you're an ass. Are you responsible? And then if you say no, you tell me why you're not with your federal tax dollars for those 120 Iranian children, as so is every other American that fills out a W tax dollar too. So here we go, guys. See what I'm saying? Didn't answer my question. Once again, bragging about his degree. Somebody make a comment about David, please. Out of here, Tammy. You're an idiot too. You're gone. I'll moderate you. So anybody being a witness this, I've asked this person, they can't answer simple questions. David, you're an ass, man. I'm going to moderate you, but I'm just somebody. I asked him how much, if he thought he was responsible. Nope, you have to believe in God. Don't ever come back here, David. Believe is not. David does not have a degree, guys. Let me take David back to school. Let me take David back to school. Watch, David doesn't, I guarantee he doesn't have a degree now. Believe is an action word. I'm going to take this clown back to school. Whatever, he can't learn. Believe is a verb. You can't believe in God. John 3:16 is not, and you'll be saved. That saved, you have to die to be saved. You already bought, paid, and purchased, not get your name blotted out by doing self-will. So, okay? Oh, hard times in here, you couldn't say shit. So let's ask you hard times, because I think already you came in here before and then you returned back to the channel. So you're a return customer. Hard times, you have to define the word hell if you want to stay in this ministry, because it's all about definition. David obviously can't even follow simple instructions. Now I've asked you for a definition. Let's see if you can follow simple instructions. Define the word hell. It's abyss or leaf. David, you're lost. I asked you a question and you can't have a degree. How could you have a degree? First I asked you to put your name at the top of the paper and you couldn't do that, remember? Well, basic question. You're still going on. Remember, believe is a verb. Faith is a noun. Faith is a noun. And you still have to put legs on faith. So you are an apostasy. You didn't answer the question. And I'm glad that everybody got to see people like you that Father says, remember, you're not turning goats into sheep. It was already chosen from the foundation of the world. God is a title. The Most High, Elohim, Elyon, right? The Most High God is a title. Remember, demon. They used to pray to their ancestors, demon. It was a compliment. So, can't answer questions. Here we go. We got two asses back to back, brothers, sisters. Look at this. Ask me a question on whales and sharks and go ahead and see how dumb I am. Anybody want to make a comment on David once again, guys? I asked him a question again. He says he has a degree, but I'm trying to mother him. Correct him. That's what you do. You mother people with the word, and he won't even take he won't even take any correction. And he says he has a degree, but he wants to talk about the ocean. So you're going to get cast, remember, into the, well, wandered off the cliff to its watery judgments. Don't come back here. Let's see if hard times couldn't answer a question too. Okay? So we'll start with Carrot because they're riding, sniffing the taint of you know what I'm saying? Goodbye, Bruce. Let's get rid of David too. Where do we find David? Where'd David go? And hard times. Okay. No, I'm not a Calvinist. All religions are heresies. So Calvinist, what kind of stupidity is that? Think that children who've never sinned go to hell. Remember? Stop your cursing. Kick rocks. Shut the fuck up. Father is more concerned if you're standing against perverts, who people who pervert his word. So goodbye, loot fines. You've been here too. Boy, we're getting a lot of return customers. So I'm saying that I have a hard time believing in eternal punishment describing in the scripture. Well, good, because there's no such thing as Jesus. So get out of here, you're a Satanist. Here's your Jesus. We'll see if this one person can be corrected. There's your Jesus. So that's Jesus. Remember, there's no J's, so stop it. There you go. There's Jesus. I know you do. That's why you do Lupercalia. You want the love in you. Sharing the love. You want the sodomy. Get away from you, sodomite. No. There's no J's in the Old or New Testament. I'm not trying to bring anybody to God. I just share the light. Father is already, remember, taken care of. That's already chosen from the foundation of the world. Goats and sheep, not turning goats. Remember, MAGA high priest of the Satan church into sheep. It's not possible. It was already chosen from the foundation of the world. So there's no J in the Old or New Testament, so there is no Jesus. Here it is, right in front of your face. If you don't want to accept it, since you're so into imagery, here's the ones that were rejected. You won't find any J in Greek or Hebrew, so stop it. He said, do not translate. Yeah, I'm in the disgusting, filthy America, the bad guy. I'm in the bad guy. Only in America is America the good guy. You know, it's funny to be here and watch these people. We're run by a bunch of pedophiles, and nobody cares. Nobody's even held a rally against that. Well, redress grievances. I'm not calling for a Second Amendment violence going around and around like putting a 6-shooter and having red team, blue team, go, fight, capture the flag. No, I don't do that. I go around the system. I grow my own food. I make my own power. You know, if you'd like to contribute to the ministry, we're trying to upgrade the ministry out here so that we can put power out here, maybe it'll be a little bit better quality and we'll get the interruption. I don't care what you see. Can you see this? He warned you of the things you see. Those 2 thieves that'll steal your crown. Remember, I come quickly, and if you don't have a crown to set at the feet of the Messiah, you're not getting into the heaven's not above your head. Hell's not below your feet. There's no gods in the sky. Fallen doesn't mean from above your head. So if you put any of that fallen nonsense, you know, I'm going to stolen valor. Look at hard times. That's what he's putting. It's on my DD 214, you dumb shit. How would I have it on my license, stolen valor? This country is an apostasy. Okay? What we are doing right now, you're okay? Hard times, answer my question. Let's see, you couldn't answer it again. Are you an American hard times? Let's see if this is, let's see if you can just follow simple directions. If not, I'll just toss you out of here. Right, there was I, but there's no J, exactly. So, and if I'm not Victor, I'm not fighting over one letter. I'm not, because there's a lot more than, you know, he said don't translate. So if people aren't even willing to go back to the Hebrew and use their lexicon and study every one word at a time and stay out of these rejected texts until they can be matured, right? Don't build your house on sinking sand. I am the rock. I am the Petra, not some third rock from the sun in a third dimension Masonic ritual spinning on a ball. Planet means wander. Wander out of here. Alien means what? Foreign. Goodbye. Your words are foreign in here. If you are sharing in opposition of these words, I don't want to hear it. If you can't be corrected, that's called mother. He said, call no man father. Honor thy father in the Old Testament. It's not your dad if he's a Jezebel, a viper. If your mom, honor that. Your mother is your brothers and sisters in the narrow way, the people that you're going to be with after you die. So, Loco, to answer your question, the little season, Loco, you got some instincts there. Eternal damnation. How? What about the little season when we get our flesh back? So, there's no such thing as Jews. See, like this, guys. There's no Jews. And I know who you know I'm talking about, but Jew is a modern term. Israel is not a country. Israel was a man. His name was Jacob. Okay? See, that's all I'm saying, guys. If you can't be correct and we can't have a discussion, you just want to hang on. Oh, no, Jesus, Jesus. Shut up. The other Jesus, you mean? If you're going to use the letter J, you know, you are warned of many. He said, many will come in my name. And he doesn't mean Jesus. He means his law, his authority, and we're not under the law. Remember, he said it's fulfilled. So don't be an ass in here. If you are, you'll be thrown out of here. An ass is somebody who can't learn. I'm okay with that. Idiots, I can work with. They've never seen it or heard it in their entire life. Idiotos and ignoramus, the same thing. Watch somebody come in here, I'll call them an idiot, and they'll get mad at me. Go all Karen or Ken, like Snowflake, think they're special, and like they will not take correction. He said, do not hang out with people like that. That's the gospel. 2 times, fishers of men. Give them fish and then give them a fishing pole, and if they don't want to work, they don't eat, tell them to kick rocks. That's the gospel, whether you like it or not. So, oh no, don't throw us out. All right, you be the person to go. Ricky, Bobby. So we know about Ricky Bobby going around in circles. Probably be like sticking your dick off in a coffee can. He said, do you feel that? And he said, if you do circles, I can. People like to go around in circles. Sodomite, get away from me. But it's all right. I'm not trying to turn goats into sheep, man. Not possible. All right, what time we got, guys? 8:15. All right, 10 o'clock, the power company's coming out here, guys, from the engineering and telling us which pole. It's going to be a big, huge day for the ministry. I'm not even talking about my title and haven't even grifted any of it to try to get you to, you know, contribute to the ministry. I'm just sharing. So don't worry about it. I already told you at the beginning, you don't have to contribute any monetary tied to the channel. Okay, all you have to do is produce good content and you'll be a part of the ministry. If you go off the rails, and we'll moderate you out of here. Okay, but all you have to do to be a part of this ministry is produce good, clean fruit. Okay, one bad apple upsets the whole apple cart. So if anybody's got a wrench in here, they'll probably moderate you. I get a slug of emails. Why'd you kick me out of here? I don't moderate people in here very often. Normally there's a moderator or two because my family comes in here. This is a family affair. Okay, this isn't some YouTube channel where I'm trying to get a YouTube button and blow up and be viral. I already had True Viral Television, and when I did True Viral, it was warning you about the COVID that was coming. 13 years ago, I've been doing this with 6+ channels. I've had channels locked out of my email. I've been thrown off TikTok. This isn't not my first rodeo, okay? So you're not going to come in here and sway anything in this ministry. You have to produce fruit to be a part of the ministry. That's what it's about. It's a ministry. It's not a channel because there's comments and we have a vernacular, a dialectus, a glossa, a tongue, a conversation with each other back and forth. Otherwise, I'll just produce another channel, right? I have 5 more of those. Plus, this is a ministry. We come in fellowship because I don't have friends and I don't have family, not one. My only son was, I think, killed, and daughter. So I'm out here hanging alone and I have this ministry. This is what Father made me do. I don't do anything else but this. I do this full time, every day, all day, and I've done this for at least the last 10+ years. So you're not going to sway anything. You know what I'm saying? Goodbye. So appreciate you coming in. If you want to contribute, today we're going to find out if it's going to be either $2,000, $5,000, or $8,000. So let me show you what I'm talking about too, because I want to share this real quick with the ministry and show you what we got going here. I'm not just, I know my map's not the best here, or my video, but see these lots right here? This is a farm. Is that facing the right way? Okay, yeah, actually it's these. There's 4 lots right here. See these? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm right here on this lot. There's a power pole sitting in the middle of my lot and a power pole sitting over here. Almost every lot in this county is set up where there's a power pole at the corner of the lot so it can service the 4 properties, right? So because mine sits independent, this lady, when she looked through here, she didn't see these on the plot map, that there's these 4 lots. They are part of this big farm over here. This is actually all one farm, but they're separate in the tax lots. See? These are all separate lots. So again, I'm hoping it won't be $8,000. It's going to hurt. because I don't have the funds right now. I just don't. I sold all my retirement and all my precious metals. I seen silver hit like 81 bucks today. That's the paper price, not the actual physical metal. But I sold what I could and what I had, and it got real close. We were able to produce a house, which I purchased, the septic system, which is, I thought the septic was going to be less than the power, but looks like they're going to be pretty close to the same. And all the electric, the permitting, everything that I need. It's not cheap to put something on the grid. So this is a big day for the ministry. It's like 10 years in the making. So it's nice to be able to have power out here, because I can take this abundance. Like I've got almost 200 eggs that need water glassed or freeze dried, or, and this will give the ability to give back to the ministry, because I don't care about 98% of the people who come into this channel. I only care about the people who frequent it, have the ranch, and produce in the chat. Then I will give back to the ministry through feed, giving you things that would last potentially 25 years in your refrigerator, because I'm not one of these doom and gloom idiots that thinks the world is coming to an end. We're not anywhere close. We're at sorrows. It's called the Book of Sorrows is where we're at. So putting away something for a rainy day is something they might call you crazy now, because you have a pantry, or you put up, some extra food store. Now you're a prepper, and preparedness is a lifestyle. So you do this because you don't want to panic. You panic before the panic, and then you correct that. You go, oh crap, and then you don't worry about it anymore, because you got a plan to fix it. There is no anything called anti-Semitism. You're an idiot. So you know your history. Why would you put anti-Semitic? There's no such thing as Jew. So, and Israel was a man named Jacob. So shut up. Get out of here. Kick rocks. So stop pushing your false truths on other people. That's called a demon. You're a demon. Actually, Mom, you're a Nephilim, according to the scripture, which means you're a bully. Not how tall you are. That's that land of Anak, Gaza, Palestine. Okay? Palestine. The Palestinians, the champions, that was Gaza. That's where the giants were at. They were eating flesh. Masse is the eating of human flesh. So you can kick rocks. You don't know what you're talking about. There is no such thing as Israel. Is not a country. Israel was a man, and you're an idiot. So get away from me. You don't have any idea what you're talking about. It shows in your vernacular. So get away from me. You're an alien. So, Mom, not Mom. I know you're crescent, moon, and star. Ishtar. You worship the goddess Ishtar, who had sex with her son. Yeah, who had sex with her son, the crescent moon and the star. Ishtar, Semiramis, the wife of Satan, the sun god. And that's what you're putting in here. Israel's a bagel. A Jew bagel? So, you're an idiot. So, okay, brother, sister. So let's get back to what I was saying. So it's hard for me not to share the ministry, brother, sister. I'm always sharing the word. It don't matter where I go. I do this everywhere. I'm never going to stop this. I've been doing it too long to just stop doing it now. So we're sitting right here right now, brothers, sisters. I'm out in this farming community. Okay. And again, he's going to come out today. There's a power pole right here, and there's a power pole right here. And so I'm not sure where, but I think it's going to end up being 5,000. I just don't want it to be, but I just have a pretty strong gut instinct, and I'm not always right about everything, but I've got the site map, I've got the plans, and, I just have to do whatever he tells me it's going to be, because, I want to get this done. This is something that's been a long time in the making, and I'm excited to see this for the ministry so we can produce food back for the ministry. They used to produce ties of food. Okay, so I don't know if it's just the old school in me, and I don't have to do this. I could take all this money and could have went and bought a pickup and went on the road and just live the American dream, but the ministry is what I'm focused in, right? This is where my mind is on this. Maybe I can do that after this is set up, and nothing is going to go anywhere. The ministry is going to stay in the same place. It's a physical location. The online ministry is what this ministry is. I do think, though, when I get power out here, I will be able to pull some people here locally. I'm kind of excited about that. Not that I have to have the physical, but it would be nice. I have tried many a times. I've run out the community center many a times, and just couldn't see. I used to go read the book of Revelation out in the park and try to continue to share the light. It just nobody else wanted the light, you know what I'm saying? And so it's beware of the day, say, oh Jesus, son of Mary, did you tell the people to take you as God? Besides Allah, he will say, exalted are you. Well, Elohim is not Allah, so yeah, you came in here before and you try to pull that nonsense in here. Allah is not Elohim. Muhammad did not hang from a tree. Muhammad was a pedophile. So let's ask you this again, okay? Well, Jim, Israel is a man, not a country. And it's a disgusting, filthy nation that's definitely not going under the let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. They have their 7-member front outside. They're bombing people outside their own country. So they're an apostasy and a heresy. They're not following this covenant. So you could do that, okay? Saul, that's horrible, but that's they just whatever blindly follow. Remember, like sheep out the gate, wide as the gate. So they'll all that goat herd. They're goats, they're not sheep. So we'll see what happens here, brothers, sisters. Today, this is a big day for the ministry. I can't change what Father's happened, did. He put these poles in a different position out on this property, long before I ever moved here. And that's what's going to affect the, whatever happens here today. So I'm excited to, again, have, some access to things such as, look at this, guys. Somebody's defending pedophilia. Y'all don't ever come in here again. And just so you know, there's no vowels in Hebrew. So it's not Y-A-H. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. There's no vowels in Hebrew. You're an apostasy. You're a heresy. So, and it's not okay to touch children. You came in here before and you won't answer any questions. You're an ass, just like David was in here. He's an ass. And most people come in here are asses. They can't be learned. They can't be stubborn. Remember, no MAGA, high priest of the State Church, goats, greatest of all time, goat. They can't be turned to sheep. It's not possible. Those already chosen. So Muhammad didn't hang from a tree. He didn't make a covenant with his bride. Let's ask this pedophilia protecting Yah. There's no vowels in Hebrew. Is it okay to have any kind of relationship with a child, let alone marry him or have any kind of sexual relations? Let's ask you. So, yeah, Allah Akbar. Father is Elohim. Shiloh, he birthed the flesh vessel. So that wasn't Jesus. You're an idiot. There is no such thing as Jesus. That shows how much education. You couldn't even answer my questions. Look, let me show you. Because the Quran, I've read it. You're an idiot. See this? Because it mentioned the Hamashiach in there, brothers and sisters. So of course I'm going to read it. There's no J's in the Old or New Testament, like there's no Y's in the Old, or A's, right, in the Old Testament. So take your A-E-I-O Jesus out of here. You're an idiot. There's no J's. He said don't translate. So I don't care what stupid religion you are. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not religious. I go to any church and they'll throw me out. Synagogue, temple, whatever. They're not going to have me. I'll expose that you guys are a heresy to these scriptures because you keep adding or taking away. And he said, don't do that. That's the very last thing he said, the Messiah. To my Father's word, remember? Guard it. If you agape me, if you love me, you'll do this. 2 John and 6. If you're going to use a J, there is no Jesus. So your Yah with the A shows you don't know Hebrew. It was translated into Aramaic. Not transliterally, no changes to the yods. Remember, that's Hebrew, but you don't speak any Hebrew, obviously. Oligos, any Greek? No, you don't speak any Greek either. Poquito Español, hablo Español. You speak any Spanish? You don't speak anything but swine, okay? So you're an idiot. You're just showing how the world is okay with this, and I'm not okay with this. So there's no A's, I's, there's no vowels in Hebrew, remember? And he said not to translate, okay? And that's all you're doing in here is you're talking in translation. I won't accept, because you can't accept Christ. He said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, and it doesn't even say Christ in these scriptures ever one time. It doesn't say that. I'm just speaking like a pagan, so you guys will have a somewhat understanding. I don't know if it'll get through to you or not. Probably not. Most people are asses, like I said. Most people are nice, which means to be stupid, or evil, and most people go to hell. So it's not for me to try to turn. Remember, I'm not condemning anybody. I'm judging under righteous judgment. He's putting old Deuteronomy, and we're not under the laws of flesh. So it's not okay to touch kids. I asked him that, and he couldn't answer my question. So we know he's an ass or a goat, thinks he's the greatest all time with his version. And I'm telling you the definition of each word. In these scriptures, 100%, you can take every word out one word at a time and study it. So he don't study like that. If he did, he wouldn't use a translation, because he said, don't do that. Don't translate. Don't add or take away. That word is Hebrew, is froward. It means to pervert. So Yah is perverted, and then using perverted words. So Jesus is what we need. He's in here, and I haven't even said anything about his J, but I'm almost certain, just from watching the comments, that there could be corrected. And I'm not going to fight over one letter. That's stupid. I'm not fighting with anybody. Actually, that's the funny thing. You're just being corrected, and you don't want to be corrected, so you're proving what the scripture says to be an ass. You're making an ass of yourself in here. So don't make an ass of yourself. You'll be thrown out of here. Or a goat, same thing, stubborn, can't be corrected, can't be taught, can't be learned, an inability to be learned, right? An unskilled, unlabored, uneducated is an idiot. You're not an idiot. You just don't know. An ass is somebody who cannot be corrected. That's what an ass is. So if you can't take correction, then I won't watch you in here. You can correct me. I expect you to correct everything I say. You should discern every word. Run it through your spiritual calculator. Make sure everything adds up. Remember, he said, I am the Hados. Must be in the same narrow way. Did Muhammad hang from a tree and make a covenant at his bride? So no, he is not the Hamashiach. He's not the one who was anointed. You're an idiot. Yah, you're an idiot. Remember, there's no vowels in Hebrew, and there is no J's in the New Testament or Old Greek or Hebrew. So there is no such thing as Jesus. It's a made-up word that was added later, like Jew. Like Jew. There is no such thing as a Jew. There isn't. Like there's no such thing as Israel is not a country. Israel was a man. And if you use the letter name J, he called him his name was Jacob, and he said that, remember, he loved him before he had born or done anything on this rock, and he called him Israel, not a country. There is no Israel. In the book of Revelation, I am Pastor Revelation, there is no, there is the Israel that he speaks of is not, it's in Russia, it's in this disgusting, filthy country in America, it's in Mexico, Panama, it's all flesh, remember? Not some place in the middle. So that's the Old Testament. His pride, Aaron and Levite, he had his heavens above another pride. Remember, pride is a sin under this covenant. We're equally yoked. You're an idiot. So, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Somebody here can I see have a discussion and not get all freaked out and have a conversation. Where did you get Muhammad hang from a tree? Nobody hung from a tree. The Messiah hung from a tree. So you're an idiot is what I'm telling you. And you can't be, you won't learn. You won't answer any questions. I already asked you. And you're defending pedophiles. So y'all get out of here. You're proving to be not welcome in here anymore. Don't come back here ever again. You've been here, and I'll throw you out every time now. Because I know you won't. I'll give you your 2 times next time, but you're already gone. So that's, we don't condemn anybody from this ministry. Never have, never will. It's just not part of the ministry. It's not part of this covenant. So I have to keep the covenant that he made with his bride, and that is, do not condemn them. Judge them with my light. Judge them with my word that I just showed you over here. That's what you use. Put the word on them, period. Not your own version, your own translation. That is the first people he deals with when he comes back. The false teachers. That's the word scorpizzo. But you don't speak any scorpizzo, right? Yeah, that's all you speak. Double speak, you know. That's what you do. Most people do. And again, I'm not trying to turn anybody. It's not what this is. I throw more people out of here than remember. I'm just sharing the light. So I don't. The ministry does. We probably throw more people off this ministry than any other channel on YouTube ever. We'll all see at judgments. That's right. He said, don't sup. Do not cast your pearls before swine. Don't sup with vipers. Do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. Through the description, local, unless you don't have it in abundance, you don't have to. As you see, I don't really talk about it. I just normally, if you've been here for a while, I talk about it at the end and tell you you don't have to tithe anything other than good comments. You know what I'm saying? And you should just be a part. But there's links in the description. The super chat's on, they get stickers on or whatever. But I have a PayPal and I have a Cash App link. If you use those, if not, don't worry about it. Just keep coming back. I'm gonna give you the rich now. Local, appreciate it. And not just because you did and don't. What do we do, Sarah? Hold on. Okay. Let's go moderators. I am reading from the interlinear Texas Receptus mix, the only one that's accepted. Because you've been here for a while, okay? So they don't have to contribute anything. I didn't just give you the wrench. I gave you the wrench because you have been contributing good fruit. And we don't agree on everything, but you talk things out and we work things out. And you bring up good questions. And because your mind is hungry, and I like that. That's what people are supposed to be, hungry for the word. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't bring anybody. That's where you're wrong, Marcus. You're an idiot. See, this is the opposition to what the word says. It says, share the light, judge with righteous judgment, and do not partake. Yes, you're supposed to throw them out. You are absolutely in opposition to what the scripture says. Do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. Do not come out of her, my people. Be in the world, but be not of it. You are absolutely in opposition of what the scripture tells us. Do not help people who do not want to help themselves. Remember the book of Jeremiah? He said, do not pray for them. You give a man fish and then you give him a fishing pole. Those who don't work don't eat. If he doesn't want to learn, then leave him alone. Like a weed. If it doesn't get sunlight, if it doesn't get watered, it's going to dry up like a bully. If you just stop. Remember, bully is the word Nephilim. Nephilim. Not how tall a man is, okay? So thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Don't think that, I still can be corrected. You need to take everything I say and correct me with the scriptures. That's what your mother is. This is the mother of all YouTube channels, not because of the numbers, because of what we do here on this platform. We mother each other. That's called in scripture out as it says, your brothers and your sisters and your mother are those that do the will of the Father. There's Father's will, agape, and there's phileo, which is self-will, and that is what gets you sent to hell. That's how you blot your name out of the book of life. That's why he called his bride a whore in the book of Revelation, because she cheated on his word. So I won't let you add or a single jot or tittle from my studies. I can be unlearned. If you can show me through scripture, I can be corrected, but I will not have you come in here and rub off on this ministry and put unclean truths. That's what we're here to do. So appreciate your time, and it's more valuable to me than any money you could ever contribute to the ministry. This is all going to go away. The experience that we have here together is what we're going to treasure at judgments. We're all going to be there to see. Remember, nobody's going to hide from judgments. Nobody's going to escape. Father's inside you. Nobody is getting, you think your intentions, the world doesn't see. He sees them, and it'll all be shown. So you're not getting away with nothing. He pours out a just measure, and that is the gospel. That is the gospel that has been under this covenant, that he is the authority. He stands before Father as your mediator. And if you don't have a mediator, the wages of the Old Testament sin, one, whether venial or mortal, is death. And that's none of us in this room. We all fall short of the word. So if you can't be corrected, brothers and sisters, this is probably not the ministry for you, okay? Go hang out in your synagogue or your temple or your church. He said, where there are 2 or 3 gathered in my agape, there I'll be. So he's here with us right now, and that's what we do. We correct each other with the word. Call no man father, that's teacher. He is the one that teaches you the word. He is the one that you share that light. Don't boast because you've been shown the light, but woe if you do not share that light. So it's not like you have a choice in the matter. He said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. So nobody sent you here other than Father. If you get thrown out of here, it's your own fault. It's not my, you know what I'm saying? It's not for me to decide who's a goat and who's a sheep. That was already pro-horizo, pre-selected, pre-enslaved. And I pull it from the foundation of the world. Vessels of mercy, those that he pulls to his light, and vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, those who do works of darkness. Children of darkness or children of the light. These are the sons of God that do the works of Father. That's called agape, 2 John and 6. Walk and follow my commandments. He commands you to carry your cross daily. Deny yourself. That's idolatry, pornea, idolatria, to serve your eyes, and lies to yourself. A demon is somebody who distributes lies and fortunes to others. Been a demon myself. Been a Nephilim, been a bully, pushed, oh, come to Jesus. Let me bring you to Jesus. Father rebukes a man's heart. Father is the one that turns a man from his wicked flesh and pulls him to his pure light. Predestination, fire channel name on this. We still do the same thing. It's a ministry now. So thank you, Father, for pre-selecting your bride. And those that blot their name out of the book of life, it's because they did self-will, which is the word idolatry. So there is no free will. Everything comes with a cost. Thank you, Father, for that. So if you'd like to contribute to the ministry, put good, clean comments. If not, you'll be tossed out of here, because one bad apple, like leaven, remember, it leavens the whole. That one bad apple is going to ferment. Remember, fermentation. You're drunk. This is what he tells us not to do. That's right. That will all be taken care of. He pours that just measure. So remember, it's turn your cheek. Old Testament, somebody broke into your house and, killed your brother or something at night. You go sneak in his house and kill his brother. That was eye for an eye under the Old Testament. Can you do that now? No, he said, turn your cheek. Although you may be able to rock somebody's world, are you going to give, Father did it to you? Are you going to lash back out at them? Father did it to you. I'm not saying you can't protect yourself if they're going to kill you, try to put something in your body, or, but you're not to go outside your borders. If somebody does something to you, you're supposed to give chance for forgiveness, right? Turn your cheek 490 times. It says 7 times 70, and many people don't. They don't go, oh, Father did that to me. No, he did that to me. No, Father made that person do that to you. The Greek word is orge, O-R-G-E, not orgy, orge, and not like they're come on by and give it a tri-festal Christmas, the orgy. It's quick to wrath, quick to indignation, quick to anger, and quick to judgments. We are to judge righteously with the word. We don't just throw that judgment out there unless we're using Father's word. So that's why we give people 2 times. Love is patient. 2 times. And then get them out of here. So Father doesn't want us to help people who don't want to help themselves. So want to help the ministry, put good comments. That's all you got to do to be a part of the ministry. So links are in the description if you want to support the ministry through a monetary tithe. So I'm almost done. I have about 100,000 into this build. So if you want to be a part of it, I don't know. I still have lots to do. I mean, I really do. I have a majority of it here, but I still have to buy gravel and pier blocks and set the pad. I'm going to have to rent the ditch digger, but we've got most of it. So it's a big day. Thank you, Father. I'm super excited about finding out what the cost is so I can just check it off and move forward. Because if it's going to be an uphill battle, then it's probably going to be that way no matter what. Then I'll take the steps that it takes to do that. So, and if nobody contributes anything here, it's okay. I'll get it done. I will. I've gotten this far through Father's girded in his service. He said, have your lamps trimmed, Maranatha, until I return. So this is what he has me doing. So I'm super appreciative of everybody who comes in here with their time, because it gives the ministry purpose for what I do. And the online ministry is more important than the physical ministry always, but this physical ministry will be a place where people can come from the ministry. I've opened it up. If you've never been part of the ministry, anybody is part of this ministry to come to the ministry, share this largest dark sky sanctuary in the world, 2.5 million acres set apart from light pollution. I went out yesterday. We had cotton candy clouds. It's just beautiful. The sun sets out here. This whole place is an outdoor paradise. It's scriptural. It's biblical. They're literally the oldest clothing in the Northern Hemisphere is found right here. It's just a very unique place. I've been to all 50 states, and man, this sure is a unique spot here that doesn't resonate like any other place I've ever been. So very unique, and I've traveled through all 50 states and lived in many, and I'm telling you, I lived in Alaska, I lived in Hawaii, I've been in cities, was born in the city, and I love living where I live now because we kind of got all 4 seasons right here in this, the climates. mountains and plains, and it's beautiful, desert and forest, and it's just like no other state I've ever been. Some states have similarities, but we kind of have all this in one state. It's just a very unique place to reside in. If you have never been here, it's a beautiful. Most people have nothing but good things to say about the visuals and all the beautiful, so many beautiful waterfalls, hunting, fishing, trapping, hiking. It's just in a really good climate. It's pretty tempered, nothing super extreme, kind of where we're at, and just an amazing spot to have this ministry out here in the country, and a couple hours from a Walmart, right? But far enough, not too far away where I'm not being able to still fellowship. I still from time to time go to town and talk people's ear off when I go to town. So people run away from me. They're afraid of me in this town, but that's not a bad thing to be afraid of. Oh, he's going to talk about Jesus. So it's Christmas Valley. Why would I not talk? You know what I'm saying? Why would I not talk about the word? So I don't care if people run away from me. That's the last problem I'm concerned about. So that's their problem, not mine. It's mind over matter. So there goes the matter. See you, bye. I don't mind, and they don't matter well, I'm just sharing the word, brothers and sisters, but I'm in a unique spot where I'm not too far away, that I've separated myself, because I've done that before. I moved way away from society behind a lock gate where there was, I think it was 75 people in that town, so, and I was way out of, away from any population there too. So I can't do that. I have to still fellowship. This is the happy medium, and it's a great spot to put this ministry. He was a wandering Jew and he wandered, in the desert. So if you want to use the term Jew, right? So we're inwardly spiritually, but yoked, okay, to him. So the Lion out of Judea, right? So what a great spot. Like I said, it's been 10 years in the making. So didn't just start this overnight. I originally purchased this property to build a community. It's not mine. I know it's still titled right now in my name, but I'm trying to get all this completed, and then I can change it over to the ministry, and no more taxes will have to ever be paid on this, and the ministry can never be taken from it'll always be here. I'm super looking forward. I have the paperwork for it to do it already. I just have to I got to get through these things first, like I'm dealing with the state on the paperwork with the house, because it was moved without, permitting it. And I don't care. They'll figure it out. If they want the taxes, they'll put they'll put a number on it and give me, they'll have to make it work. I'm kind of, they don't want to put the mobile home ordinance division, manufactured home ordinance division has to have an address to place the house, but they can't give me the address here at the county, because I have to pay for the address until I own the home. But I can't own the home until I have the address. It's just like a double. So one of them will budge. That's not the worst thing that's happened, So we have not too many hiccups, guys, and normally I run into a lot of resistance. So I'm hoping today that with this paperwork, when the guy gets here, I'll discuss with him, so we'll figure out whether, here's a little bit bigger map that I did, a plot map. See, it's either going to go here where the power poles, and we're sitting in this building right here. So it's either going to go over here, the power, or right here. There's a power pole on the next property over that I used to own, that I sold to pay this ministry off. And there's one sitting right here. So again, I'm hoping that there's lots sitting next to me, and because they're lotted like this onto tax lot, they're separate lots. They're not, they didn't go into the county and make that all one lot. This pivot right here is 160 acres. 160 acres right here. That's 160 acres of land. This is 160 acres of land. So most of this farm, is not lotted up. It's all that separate. This, though, is 4 separate tax lots. So again, I'm hoping that the power won't cost me $8,000, because when they normally put the power, they put it on the corner, and that can goes up for one property. It can service all 4 adjoining properties. So that's $8,000. That's what they told me the cost. The lady did over the phone. So I don't have that right now, and it is what it is, but at least I'll know. It'll give me something to work off. I got a pickup truck that I have up for sale that I got. Maybe that will sell. So this is where I'm at. I'm again hoping that the power can just go right here, and that we don't actually have to put the power all the way over here, because that means I'd have to move the manufactured home from where it's at over to over here. It's sitting right here right now. So I would have to move it way over here to this side of the lot, which really take away from everything that's already here. But it is what it is. So exciting stuff, guys. Exciting stuff. I'll probably wrap it up here in about another 10 minutes and see if get ready, anticipate. He should be here about 10 o'clock. I want to make sure I got the gate open and, you know, access and the phone available in case he turns down the wrong road or whatever. So for these last 10 minutes or so, I'll just kind of give you an idea what we're doing out here. And so if you want to contribute, here's your you know, opportunity to contribute to the ministry. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it monetarily, there's links through Cash App and PayPal in the description. It's not required. It's just part of the ministry. But you can see where it's going. So thank you for those who contribute their time. We did take a tithe the other day. Somebody gave us a tithe, so it's going to help. So I haven't gotten anything this time. That's okay. I don't care if anybody contributes to the ministry. It doesn't matter. All you have to contribute is comments. But if you want to be a part of the ministry, keep coming back, keep producing fruit. I'll probably end up sending you fruit. One day I'm hoping to get to South America, set up a second ministry, set that second ministry up and produce guava, papaya, mango, star fruit, you know, aguacate, all, you know, down south where the fruit can be. I can't do that here. My garden is fried out there. It got fried again. I'm like, oh no, man. It was doing so good. Not everything, but a bunch of it did. It's just been cold. You see me, I'm still wearing a hat. It's probably 45 degrees in the cabin right now still. It holds temperature for a little while in the day. It's nice during the hot summers because it'll cool off during out here in the high desert, and then, you know, hot during the day and cool. You can open up your windows at night and cool the whole building off. So exciting stuff, guys, for the ministry. Big day, big day for the ministry. So nobody made any contributions today, but that's all right. We haven't had a ton. So like I said, it's tough right now. Gas is it's like 5 something over where I'm at, 5.41 or something. It's ridiculous. So I know people are strapped right now. I don't want to take anything from anybody. I don't want to be on the other end of judgments. And Father said, hey, you had all those, you know, you had some abundance. You just had to sell a bunch of little things to get it. And you just wanted to sell the bigger things. And I just live a long way away from people. So I can't have people coming out here buying $20, $30 items. It cost me $50 to go to town. Now, almost $48 is what it cost to go to town the other day. And I got more doctor's appointments. So, no, it won't. Not to hold a freeze dryer. For what I'm trying to do. Wolf, I don't disagree for 8,000 that you couldn't get a system, but not to run a freeze dryer system consistently like I want to run it for the next 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not against. I've got solar set up. You know, so I got solar. So I don't disagree that 8,000 could buy a decent system, but not probably enough to run a freeze dryer. Remember, they run a pretty not overly, but they need a separate circuit, and they do pull. They run straight constant power day and night. You know what I'm saying? So that could be an issue. And I'll eventually put, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably eventually try to get, you know, more solar back out here. I'm not going to use this power at all for more. Mostly is what I'll use it for is the freeze dryer. That's pretty much all I want to have storage, some kind of refrigerator. Guys, I've been living out of a cooler for 10 years, guys. I've lost some food. No, I don't like to say that, but things get dunked in the ice and they get wet. Taquitos don't last in the water. They turn to mush, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. And then and so I feed it to the chickens. I compost. I don't just throw it away. And I've taken wet taquitos and tried to cook them or whatever. Just things like that, guys, that it's a little frustrating, you know, to work hard and then lose, you know, your gains. And so this will give me the ability to put things in a refrigerator and a freezer and just some of the luxuries that, you know, will be nice. And I could have done it, guys. You can do everything on solar and have everything that you, with wind and solar, I probably could have already done it, but I just live here by myself and I'm a minimalist. So it doesn't, I don't need all these extra things, but it's time. I just went in and had, like I said, 3 MRIs and I'm pretty messed up and I'm feeling horrible today. Again, my sciatic, my back is just, I don't know. I have not worked outside and, and haven't done anything, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So I don't know what's going on. I'm glad I went to the doctors and got looked at. I almost literally died because I quit eating bread and sugar and pasta, and I wasn't producing any insulin. If I wouldn't have gone in and got that, uh, you know, that blood work done, there is a chance that I could have wrecked my vehicle. I was just lightheaded and feeling just worse than any, just not the vertigo, but almost to a vertigo state, kind of in between vertigo and the room is spinning. You're spinning, the room spinning. It was hard to get, and I'm glad it's because my body was fighting, itself to try to produce some kind of insulin. So I was in full diabetic insulin shock for, I don't know how long. I was just dealing with it. So I just get used to having that kind of, a little bit of a haziness from the sciatica. It makes my constant, wears my body down. So, this would be good. It'd be nice to have some creature comforts, and stop treating myself with such, I need to treat myself better. I'm not 20 years old. I need to take care of myself. I want to be around to be past 100 years old. So I don't want to, but if I could be healthy, I will try. I will keep trying to go for another 50 plus years and not check out and not be one of these veterans that because I don't like what I did and I'm never going to hurt myself. I'm never going to unalive myself. I'm not suicidal in any way. I just, I'm going to try. And so I got to start taking care of myself and, my day of death's already written. So I'm not trying to be anxious about that. I'm not worried about that, but I do need to take care of myself. I didn't take very good care of myself. I broke my back multiple times, bones, bodies, concussion. I got hit in the face with a grenade too. I think that might have some effect of what's going on. I'm a little concerned of what they might find up here, guys, with this this MRI, but we'll see. We'll see. There could be something pushing up there, what I'm saying? Because I had obviously, it's not the first time I've had my head racked. Obviously, I've had my head beaten multiple times. I've had literally fluid in the frontal lobes of my brain, or my swelling in my freaking brain. So I know it's like to feel that pressure and, starting to kind of get like that again where I'm feeling, I don't think I have fluid because I didn't take an impact. Yes, I did. I got hit in the face with a grenade, so maybe there's been something up there for a while going on too. And I'm just, been neglecting to take care of it. So now's the time. I need to, if I'm going to make it for another 50 plus years, I'm not going to, if I don't address the issues that I have, it's like not fixing your squeaky brake. It's just going to climb up and take out your whole suspension, so I need to stay mobile, I just need to stay going. So I'm excited for this, guys. Like I said, it'll give the ability to have some more options out here. And I do think that I will be able to pull a couple people from this local town. It's a little tiny country town, but once it's a ministry, what I'm saying? Once it's a ministry, well, that's Father. It's because I stand up. I stand up to, because he stood up. I stand up. I didn't break any laws, but I stood up and I ended up getting my son and daughter killed. And my son was sad. I had to sit there and watch my son with his hands over his head be shot, kidnapped my daughter. And now they're both, it's been a nightmare, but they ended up grenading me to the face, hurt my animals. And it's just a horrible thing, and all because I was just trying to get them to listen to my voice. So get them to they were going after my son because they go after my son to get to me, and it works. What are you doing? Are you coming over to say hi to the dad? You heard me talking about the bubbies. Huh? You miss your boy? You miss your boy too? We miss him every day, huh? We miss him every day. Yes, we do. All right, brothers, sisters, let's get this one wrapped up here in the next couple minutes or 3. So, this ministry is all I got, brothers, sisters. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for being there. These last 2 years have been an absolute nightmare for me. And having this ministry, some kind of valve to talk it to people, and I know that I'm a little bit of a burden at times with what goes on in my personal life, but I don't have any friends or family, so Father set me apart. In ways it's horrible, but in ways it'll, at the end of life, it'll be much better because I won't have to be like Lot's wife and look back at anything. You know what I'm saying? So this ministry gives me purpose, guys. I wouldn't want to sit around here and just collect dust or, just do nothing. This gives my life absolute purpose. It's far. What? What are you wanting? What are you wanting? You just want some lovin's? You want lovin's? You're the bestie. I love you, Bubby. So, he's a good boy. He's my only friend I got. So, he's never lied, cheated, or stolen anything from me. So, he's treated me better than most humans have ever treated me in my life. So, he's such a good boy. So, thanks for the tithe. Appreciate it. Like I said, we're trying to get the power out here today, guys. Let's go outside real quick. Actually, let's get up because I'm getting stiff, guys, and I'm going to have to turn the stove on. I made some chicken yesterday. I want to try to get something to eat before the guy comes here. I don't think he'll be here long. We'll go out and show you the ministry real quick if you never put your eyeballs here. I'm in the kitchen area. I still haven't put the roof on the lid in here. You're a vampire. Okay, I know most people are vampires. So they'll try to suck the life out of you. So you wouldn't be the first vampire to come in here. Two tubes, spitting snake oil at you. Welcome to the YouTube tube. You get it? Come on, Bubby. Come outside. All right, we're out here at the farm. So you should probably hear the birds in the background. But here's the ministry. This is where we do all our, my screen is so freaking. This is the Rusty Cowboy. On the other side over here is the single wide that I purchased that I'm trying to get the placement permit and get the address taken care of. We'll walk out front here for a second. I'll show you we're not going anywhere, Bubby. No, don't bark. No. No barking. You're not going to herd me. You're going to try to herd me. No barking. Hey! Knucklehead. He just gets excited. He gets excited. So, again, this is where the power is going to be potentially coming from, or that pole way over there on the far end of the property. So, if you want to contribute, this is what I'm doing today, guys. I don't want to take anything from anybody, just so you know. I'm not trying to, again, all right, they just sent me a doctor's appointment. Damn. I knew it. So, here's the kitties. Here's my kitties. The kitty girl, she got fixed. The Rusty Dragon is over there. Okay. Give you a little shot. Here is the single wide that I purchased, and I'm trying to get the permitting for placement. So here is the ditch that I have decided that I'm not going to dig because it's going to hurt me. I'm already feeling horrible from even digging this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to rent a ditch, digger. I have to dig the septic lines. This is 150 feet that I have to dig. It's got to be down at least 2 feet to that pole. So I'm going to rent. It's really getting much harder as I get up onto this driveway because it's been driven on year after year. And then out there, it's really compacted as well because this is the driveway. So I got to rent a ditch machine, guys. I'm going to hurt myself if I don't. So I don't know how much it's going to cost. I think probably about $200 to $300 for the day. And I think I can do what I need to do in a day. So I'm gonna go ahead and just buck up and even if I have to wait. And then this out here, it gets really, that driveway's been driven on for years and years and years, and it's water. This all used to fill up with water. So that's really solid. That's going to be quite difficult to dig out. So I'm going to have to rent the machine. What are you doing, pretty girl? What are you doing, my pretty little girl? Coming up here to say hi? Huh, pretty girl? So this is what we're doing. Or the power pole way over there, guys. See that power pole way over there? So I'm hoping I don't have to move all this over there, because if you look, most of the ministry is right here. You know, everything is right here. I am more hugged up. That end of the property's out that way. Dude, we got a chicken way out there. What are you doing, girl? You out there getting water? Look at this, we got a bird way out here. What are you doing out here, girl? What are you doing, pretty girl? You're on the road. You're on the driveway. Were you over here drinking, girl? What are you doing out here? You drinking water, girl? You're way out here in the driveway. You're way out here in the driveway. Pretty girl. What are you doing? You got muddy feet. All right, so this is how far I am in here on, there's the corner of the property right here. This is the fencing of the edge. I'll probably have about another 15 feet. Or you're not supposed to put your fence line on the edge of the property. You're supposed to put it 15 feet in. What you doing, pretty girl? What you doing, pretty girl? My prettiest girl going for a walk with a dad. So this is the end of the property. Yeah, it's not. This is the dream, man. I'm living the dream. You need to do the same thing. This is more. Oh, look at, we got a board coming out there. Hold on one second. Okay, but I've been collecting these license plates too, guys. There's a P.O.Box. Here's another way you can contribute to the ministry if you want to. Everything out here is all old like this, other than the new building that I put in here, or newer, that I painted. I put these license plates up here to give the ministry, when you pull up, a little bit of color. So here's another way to contribute to the ministry. If you want to send a license plate, I have more, obviously, space here. You could put your plate up here, sign the back of it on this side back here, and you'll be able to see what sent from the back side on that side. And or you can sign the front if you wanted to. But what are you doing there, Nugget? So there's another way to is but I started out with nothing, guys. You know, everything out here is built from hand, and it's all repurposed material. Everything I do is from the ground up. I don't do this with an income. I do this by working with what I have. Look at the kitty up there. So mountains in the background, Summer Lake's right back here, Anna Reservoir, Duncan Reservoir. We got bodies of water. There's a lake right over there. Sits right over there on the other side of the edge of the Table Rock. What are you doing just sitting out here? She's sunbathing. Look at her. She's sitting out here in the sun, baking in the sun. Come here, girl. Come here. Let's take you back up in there. Come on. What are you doing, pretty girl? What are you doing, pretty girl? At least get inside the fence, please. We're carrying the girl back into the... Look at her, she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. Go over here. Go over there. Thank you. Go over there. Go bask in the sun over there. So, all right, but here's the building, guys, and I'm putting the power to this building. The power's going to this building right here. I've been working on this. Obviously, when I got it, it needs the windows replaced. I'm still working on, you know, doing what I can do. I can't, it's like my back right now. It's just killing me, but this is, you guys are welcome to come visit. This is a building that you guys could come hang out in,
couple nights, few nights, a week or something right now with the county that you can come stay here 6 days on hip camp. But if you're part of the ministry, you could stay longer if you wanted to. But I've got to get this building here finished up as well. I'm going to be using this as a cabin rental for overnight to come out here. It'll be dry camp cabin. This one's called the Rusty Dragon, and it gets its name, the Rusty Dragon, from some of the metal art that I did out here. There's the dragon. But this is a pretty cool building that's all been mill ends, and some of them are quite large. But this is the entrance here. I had to take the door off because I wanted to get a better door for this building. But let's go inside here real quick. I'll show you real quick, then I'm gonna probably go back inside here. But this is the Rusty Butterfly, or excuse me, the Rusty Dragon, and it's lofted. It's got all this old school seafoam tin, and I've never really used this type of color. Everything I do is more of this older Western style. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? These probably a little bit deceiving, but look how thick these boards are. You know, these are old, big, thick, you know, milled. The cats, looks like the cats have been over here. They must have got in here. They do that sometimes. They'll bring but I ended up putting all this tin. I've got trim work to do, but looking back out here, I have some trim work in the ceiling to put on here. This is how I broke my back, guys. This is what broke my back, is this beam right here. I put this beam up here, right here, which is over 400 pounds. It's 8 by 12 by 20. It's a pretty large, and it was real heavy, older beam. And I had put it out. I was over here on this corner, over here. And what I did is I was putting it up in there, and I actually had to swing that beam out far enough to fit back up in there, because it goes, it only has just a little bit of room. So I had to swing the beam out that way. And when I did, it fell down, and I held on to it because I thought it was going to fall down and come back and pin me up against that corner on a ladder, and I broke my back, and I believe I broke my hip too. So we'll see. I'll get the image of it. So this is a lofted bedroom up here. I put a little bed up there, but some insulation, but it's all lofted, and some trim work. It's all, this will be the kitchen area, little kitchen area. It's got a wood stove, all heated by wood stove. All this stuff is all repurposed. This is an old workbench that split, and I took the metal and put, stone in between. There's all kinds of metal in the floor that I've concreted into the floor. Metal, just for decorations or whatever. But almost done. Almost done in here. Live edge shelf up there. I've got some work to do there, but the lid is what it is. These weigh about probably over 120 to 150 pounds, depending on how wide they are. And I can't continue to do this. I'll hurt myself. I did get these up months ago, but that put me down for a little bit, just too much, because I have to push them up and then nail them into the, by myself. I have to push that up with one hand and hold it, and then keep it up there. Push that up with one hand. It's like pushing one hand with 150 pounds and holding it in place and then nailing it with your right hand. So not fun. Not fun. All right. I'm going to go back into the cabin here. I got that chicken going, so should be nice and warm by now. Thanks for going outside with me. I was just showing you guys what we're doing out here. So this is the power pole. They're coming today, guys. If you want to contribute to the ministry, I need to rent a ditch machine. Probably gonna be about $300 to rent it. So if you can help out, that'd be great. If not, don't. Don't worry about it. No obligations. Somebody's laying some eggs in there. Somebody's laying some eggs. Oh, I gotta get in there. Yeah. All right. Let me, whew. Goodness gracious. All right, so just message me. Oh, okay. Okay, give me 1 second here. Yeah, we're all done. We're all done. Oh, yeah. It'll be yummy. Get off here, I bet. Get something to eat in my belly. All right, my apologies. Whew. And my back is just hurting today. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get off here. It's gonna show up probably in the next 30 minutes or so. So I want to be ready when he gets here. Get a little bite to eat before I get here. Before he gets here. Let's hope that it's not the 8,000 and that maybe it'll be the 2 and 5 is okay because it's better than 8, but 2 would be better. 2 would be a whole lot better. I don't have to pay him today, but I'm going to figure out what it is today. So I have to get everything else ready for that though. So come back when you have some more time. If you think your time is here to spend your time here. So I appreciate it. Don't contribute to this ministry. If you don't have it, please do not contribute to this ministry. Just contribute your time. This is, again, it's not, there's no obligation. You're welcome to come out here. Spend 2 days, spend 3 days, spend a week. I don't want anything from you. There's the cabin. I have composting toilets. I'll probably have a flushing toilet by then. Running water, and it will make it a whole lot easier. You know what I'm saying? So come out and enjoy this ministry. It would be kind of a bummer to not see anybody come out here eventually and enjoy this. I'd love to sit out here in the dark sky sanctuary with you, look at the Milky Way galaxy, and, you know, talk over some gospel. We could build a fire pit. You know, I have a couple, but, you know, do something out here and enjoy yourself. If friends are welcome, family, if they're in the narrow way, and I won't put a time limit. Eventually, if somebody wants to come out here and stay out here, they'll have openings. Work trade. Work 30 hours a month for me, and I'll give you a spot out here. You know what I mean? That's like 2 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? You can knock that out and have a whole life. You wouldn't have to do anything. You really get your costs down to nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't get you hooked up with some solar. You know, we get set up. There's your power. There's water here. You know, wind. It's not that hard to get yourself ahead. It's not easy. You got to grind it out, but it can be done. I'm telling you, most people just don't take that first jump, brothers, sisters. It's difficult. You know, it's scary. If you worked a 9-to-5 job and you don't have any, you know, and you're used to having that solid, you know, steady paycheck, it's tough because you're like, oh my God, I don't have a paycheck. Well, what am I going to do? Well, go to work. Go to work. Work for yourself. Stop trading dollars for hours. You're getting robbed. You know you're worth more than they pay you. You know, work for yourself. Then everything you do is yours. Every brick you lay, every seed you plant, every building board that gets hammered, it's yours. And you make it your own, and you get to do it your way instead of cookie cutter like everybody else. And that's what you see out here with this ministry. I just don't do it. I just repurpose everything, you know. Composting toilet, waterless toilet, stand-up shower with on-demand hot water heater, you know.
wood stove. Self-sufficiency is important. What do we got here? Solar, the garden. Get yourself. You can do this, guys. Stop telling yourself you can't. Start telling yourself, I'm gonna do it. Don't make plans, Father will wreck them. Just prepare for both. Make a plan, because it might not work. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So you got to put legs on faith. You got to do it. So if you want to come out to this ministry, somebody gave a donation. I appreciate that. I don't know who it was again on this ministry. I can't see. We don't give you no brownie points or anything. You're all welcome to be a part of this ministry, whether you contribute to this ministry or not. Okay. Seriously, don't feel obligated to ever to anything monetarily. I got the monetary thing handled. It's not easy, but I'm used to not making any income. I don't get Social Security. I don't get disability. I don't get veterans benefits. I don't have any income. So I work for what I have by buying and trading and selling. Look on my marketplace. There's 40 things listed on the marketplace right now. I got a vehicle for sale. If nobody's interested, I got a 92 Ford F-150, $900 worth of tires just put on it, fresh. There's more. I mean, there's a second owner truck. I just placed the starter on it. I didn't need it, but I did it. It was just a wire. I'd already done it, so I'm not going to just $1,900. That's like less than half than I paid for it. So if you're in the market, let me know. I've got things for sale, and I don't want to grift anybody. I would trade any item that I have, if you need something or sell or whatever, if it's for the ministry. Nothing I have is all, I would sell it for the ministry. So I'm not a material person. Everything is for the ministry. Everything I do is for the ministry. So come back when you got more time, guys. I hope that time that you spent here today, you spent wisely. I know it is for me. Just to spend time. I could have sat here and just grifted everybody the whole time, but about 98% of the time we just shared the gospel, because that's what this ministry is about. So it's hard for me to talk about anything without not talking about the word, brothers and sisters. It's a habit of mine, and old habits just die hard. So I guess I'm just an old diehard. So much agape and phileo. Thank you again for those who are come back consistently. Please get a hold of me if you want to be a part of this ministry in the physical sense. There is room for the right people. I have been putting ads on the other day. I got a lot of results, but I just haven't pulled that said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'd rather really find somebody from the ministry than somebody off of that's not ministry related, because it would feel like they're part of the family here. It's kind of a family affair. So much love, guys. Thank you again for your time. We'll see you on the next stream. I'll come up for the end of the day and let you know what the results are. So it's going to be 8,000, 5,000, or 2,000. Let's hope, like I said, that I'm not, I can't. Father already wrote whatever it's going to be. You know what I mean? So it's just a setback. It's not a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? It's not a deal breaker. Guys, I've already got 100,000 in the build. You know what I'm saying? Between the property and, that's not even including some of the buildings out here that are here that I built. I'm just saying. So please, be a part of this ministry when you can and when you have time, because you can't make up time, and you can go make more money. So when you have, what I'd like to see is more of us in this ministry get ourselves to where we're not stressed out about having all these big overhead bills and things, when you could take back of your control of your power and your, put in a solar system. I got the cheapest mold solar system money can buy, and it's been running for 6 years flawlessly. My wind turbine came down not that long ago, but it worked perfectly. And if I probably just buy the blades, it would probably still work. I just haven't even had the time to, that's right. That's right. Get your costs down to nothing, guys. You got a little cabin. I just showed you into the Rusty Dragon. That's a beautiful little cabin. A couple could live in there with a dog and a cat and have a beautiful life. Put a porch on the front of it, outdoor kitchen. There's a lot to grow out here, and you could start small. I'd rather live on a big old piece of land in a little tiny cabin where I could build out than a piece of house on a little tiny land so close to my neighbors I don't have any privacy. I went and just picked the chicken up out in the middle of the driveway. What the hell she was doing out there? But she was out in the mud, drinking out of the mud puddle. So, love you, brothers, sisters. You can do this. Get a hold of me if you want to learn how to do it. I've got tons of contact information for people in your area. You don't have to relocate, and you don't have to go live on somebody's property. You could probably just go there and they give you eggs and vegetables just to help them out, give them a hand. Like sometimes if I just had one person holding that other end of the board with one finger, guys, it wouldn't fall off the ledge. It wouldn't blow down in the wind. I mean, that's all the help I need sometimes. I'm serious. Like just if I had one finger on the other end of the board, you know what I'm saying? So, that's kamikaze. That's insane. I hate that. I hate to think that the military is responsible for more death in the seas than anybody else, guys. And they get a free pass. Like all this destroying our country. It's crazy. The military works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and never stops, and all they do is pollute and destroy. Use things like those kamikaze dolphins and just destroy. We're supposed to be good stewards over this rock. We're given dominion over the animal kingdom as well, and so we're supposed to not be using them to blow up our adversary. So wild times, guys. This is the time, if you ask me, that you should be with a community of people like-minded, still paying attention to what's going on, not pulling your head out of the sand, not doing politics, not the donkey or the elephant stocking up on the lamb, right? Literally and with the word, and not partaking in this madness. This is not the time. Revolution is fight. Evolution is go around the system, evolve. Revolution is go round and round like a rat on a wheel, and you never go anywhere, and you wonder why you never get anywhere in life. You've got to go around the system and become your own system, brothers, sisters, or stop that big system, like when the Walmart closes down with the Piggly Wiggly, the Kroger, the Winco, and they don't even take your cash. You go over that Mennonite dealer, and you go to the guy and he said, "Hey man, I apologize, sold all my silver, but would you take some copper rounds? Would you guys take copper rounds? Will you take dollars for that half a pig or that half a lamb or a whole lamb, right? You do a trade. Oh, wow. That's a bet. Go to your farmers markets. They'll probably trade you for some copper or some silver, right? Or something, cut the big supply chain off and become local, more localize your supply chain. That way, if things break down, you've got ways to narrow the supply chain. So I've given that many away so far, guys. That's how many I've given away. I just randomly give them away. It's just somebody's interested in them. Look at that. That's how many have given it away so far. I like giving them away. I do. You should see people when they hold this in their hand. It's like I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he's got a lot of money. And when he put this thing in his hand, he was like, they're like, whoa, that's heavy, So he liked economics. We were talking about it's the bull. This is from Golden State Mint. And the bear round. Remember, God's money is gold and silver, brothers, sisters. Always has been, and always. They used to measure in grains too. Remember, not in talents. Remember, a day's wage for. It's coming, guys. You can beat this system. You know how you beat the system? Did you see the garden? Oh, we didn't show you the garden today, right? Growing food is a great way to stick it to the man. The government's going to put you on a list if you grow your own garden. Are you afraid? Well, then go to church. You afraid to die? Well, get off the damn internet and go live a little bit. Okay. Love you, brothers, sisters. Appreciate your time. Got to go. I can stay in here all day and talk. You know what I'm saying? There you go. 1-to-1. You got it, Blades. And one day I do think, because again, if you got rid of all the gold, I don't think it would change this rock at all. But if you got rid of the silver, there's no way they can do that. I do think that one day you'll take your silver round and trade it for two to 3 pieces of gold. They'll be more valuable. No way. Yeah, I do. That's just, I'm a weirdo. So you don't have to think what I think. So thank you for your contributions to the ministry. Again, the last time before I get out of here, if you want to contribute for the power, I need to rent a ditch machine before I could even, you know what I'm saying, give them the money. So to put the power in. So if you want to contribute to that, there's links in the description. Don't do it And if you can't leave a larger contribution, and this, just please hear me out before I say this, don't send me your small contributions. Use it for you. Go buy something for yourself. Go buy something because your neighbor is ill prepared and he might come over with some hungry kids and you can stick some rice and beans so he don't want to eat your arm off. Look you like foghorn leghorn, like your big turkey leg or a T-bone, drooling, you know, because he wants to eat the mass A, human flesh, right? Go buy some rice and beans or something. A couple of those bags might go a long way. Okay. So don't contribute to this ministry. If you can't make a contribution, you know, substantial, use it locally, use it for you. You got one of these? Go get one of these, please. If you don't own one of these, give yourself the tithe right now and go buy yourself one of those. Don't send it to this ministry. Take care of yourself. It's kind of like when the mask drops down, don't do the mask. You got to take care of yourself so you can help other people out, right? Help yourself, brother, self, right now so you can help others, okay? Much agape, okay? Please. This is our time to shine, brothers, sisters, not rise above others. This is the time. Father bred us this generation right now that we're here for these exact days. I hope you're doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Remember, they had extra bread and extra fish. How do they do that? Father always puts everything exactly where he wants it in the exact place, time. He never makes a single mistake, and maybe he would be the one to lift people up and feed them the extra bread and extra fish. That's what I'm trying to do as well, just so you know, if you follow this ministry. I don't want to take from anybody. All I want to do is give. Remember, I can't share what I have, so I already have too much. So thanks for your time, guys. Better run. Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.